children. But Mama Tino knew Pastor Emeka was telling the truth, and she was determined to stop him. That night, she visited the herbalist who made her rich, and together they performed a dark ritual that left Pastor Emeka blind and crippled. Unable to see or walk, he could no longer warn people about Mama Tino. Her business continued to flourish, and Pastor Emeka was left helpless, with no one believing his story. However, as the saying goes, every day is for the thief, but one day is for the owner. That day came sooner than expected, and Mama Tino never imagined it. One fateful morning, as she was preparing a puff puff, her youngest child, Ibidun, unknowingly took a piece of the puff puff and ate it. Martino did not notice it until it was too late. As soon as Ibidun swallowed the puff puff, her body convulsed, and within minutes she became deaf and dumb, unable to hear or speak. Mama Tino screamed in horror as she rushed out of a shop. A pot of oil splashed onto her legs, causing severe burns. She collapsed in pain, her legs scorched and useless. That same day, her three older sons, who were on their way back from school, were involved in a terrible car accident. All three survived, but were left with severe injuries that crippled them for life. In the span of a single day, Martinu's world came crashing down. Her children and husband were all either disabled or suffering. She knew this was no coincidence. The curse she had unleashed on others had finally come for her and her family. The news of what happened to Mama Tino and her children spread like wildfire. Our once loyal customers abandoned her, terrified of the consequences of eating a puff puff. Her wealth quickly dried up, and she was left with nothing but pain and regret. Desperate and broken, Mama Tino finally confessed to the community. She revealed everything: the pact she made with the herbalist, the sales to the dead, and the curse that had ruined countless lives. The people were horrified, but they also pitied her. She had fallen victim to her own greed, and now she was paying the ultimate price. It was at that moment that Mama Bisi understood why different misfortunes had befallen her since she ate Mama Tinu's puff puff months ago. Pastor Emeka got it from being blind and crippled, and was called upon to pray for Mama Tinu and her family. Despite everything that happened to Emeka, he forgave her and prayed for healing. Though she and her family were forgiven, they would live with the consequences of the choices for the rest of their lives. And so, the curse of Mama Tinu's puff puff came to an end.